Hey everybody, this is Rydo and we're back to this game. Let's continue. I'm just down to the point where, looking at the cases, it looks like there's 30 of these. We've been playing what feels like at least 2 hours in this. And I'm really not willing to give this game props for allowing us to just request hints. And they're not even really hints. They're direct explanations on what you need to do. But it is better than the old point-and-click adventure style of hints just being spoken out loud after you wandered around. So I'm gonna heavily start getting hints and just moving the game forward. So we need to get rid of the dog again. Let's see. I should use the control remote first on the first channel to drain the dog into the TV. Then to the third to make the boxer fight him in the ring. What? And see, this has been a consistent... well, it's now become a consistent issue of somewhere around here there's a remote control. Like, in the game it kind of hinted that there was a remote control, but I don't see it. And this area is so full of things that where's the remote control? I could talk to this guy, I guess, maybe.
So, any fights lately?
Seriously? Man, I get that all the time. I died in the ring, you know. And since then, I have been using this attire. A word to the living. Careful what you wear, because there are no such things as ghost clothes.
Duly noted. But seriously, were you any good?
I was on my way to becoming the best. I can still pack some punch.
A warrior that cushions his paws with gloves is no warrior at all.
Don't mind him.
More characters speaking from off screen.
Hit me with all your strength.
I don't know, man.
Come on. Don't be a wuss.
I don't want to hammer that down.
So I might just have to look at all of the hints till I can find the remote control. Like, because I have no clue where the remote control is. Dead body. And see, these guys, I think, are supposed to be here as a secondary hint system. But you don't really need that.
Say, Chief.
Don't call me Chief, son.
Let's see. I guess most of this would just be repetition, but we'll ask about gypsy curses.
What do you know about gypsy curses?
I'd rather you didn't use the word gypsy. Or Indian, for that matter.
Fair enough.
And so that's nothing?
Mind.
A whole 5 lines of dialogue.
Tell me what you got.
Not worth. So maybe the gangster will trade something for the hammer.
Mind if we trade? Nah, whatever.
And so what do I have now? Oh, he had the remote control. So what does she say?
Mind if we trade?
Of course not, darling. What do you have to offer?
So, for the most part, just to waste the player's time, you have to walk back to the graveyard, trade items because I can only hold one item as a ghost. And then go back and trade items again. That is really ridiculous. And it creates the scenario where I could have traded for the remote before I knocked out the demon, the ghost that was possessing my body, and I would have had to gone back and trade again. So we might go in circles several times. It's only 3 channels. Let's change it to channel 1. Okay. And let's go to channel 2 and see what happens. So that didn't work. So just by default, like, you can't turn up the volume, you can't turn off the power, I assume. You almost certainly would have done this. Why a lady singing would suck the dog in doesn't make a lot of sense, but whatever.
The bell. I can hear its calling.
At last, warrior, we meet in a field of champions. Prepare to have your soul shattered, buried, and pooped upon as just another trophy in my collection.
Oh, hell no. You bad dog.
This is just way too many squares on the screen.
Be in there for a while. I can go up now.
Yes, but should I go up now? Not really. I should go back and trade the remote control, because I probably don't need it anymore. So whatever the lady has... And let's see if maybe there's even a 4th item that the support leader has to trade with.
I have no use for that.
So, no, there's only 3 items.
Mind if we trade?
Certainly not.
And they're not animating the items, so you have to look. Bubblegum. No clue what I'm going to use bubblegum for, but we'll probably find out. We're still on case 1, and it feels like there's 30 cases. How can that be? How in the world can that be? Assuming all of these are based on 30 issues of a graphic novel comic book, like, that makes a certain level of sense. But who would animate every single issue that way? Like, why not do just like the first 5 issues in the first game and then do the next 5 issues in the next game? Why do all 30 in one game? We have the Spectral Abomination, who seems to be eating everything in sight. Suppose we should talk to him. See what he says.
Could I have that plank you were chewing? No? That's okay. I can't argue with this behemoth.
So let's just give him the bubble gum.
Do you want some of this? Whoa! Thanks, dude.
So now it's this trade scenario.
That was even more disgusting than I was expecting.
So if we're gonna get the wrench, we're gonna have to do something else, I imagine. And when I right click, it seems like there's nothing else in this room. So the perfumes that were back here in the tub that we could click on previously don't seem to have any reason to have existed. Let's see if we can go into room 420 this time. Like, as a ghost...
I wish I was one of those ghosts that could phase through walls, but I guess that's just in the movies.
Well, it's nice that they addressed that. I was just about to say, why can't you just...
Yeah, it's still locked from the last time I came here. I wish I was one of those ghosts that could phase through walls, but I guess that's just in the movies.
Let's see. Maybe I'm supposed to use the plank to just beat this ghost in the head.
I have no use for that.
That was an effort.
I have no use for that.
Let's look at the wood.
It's really long and heavy.
And you can't even talk to Pazul. See, if I double click here, it doesn't speed up. And even if it did speed up, there's loading actually in between each scene, which doesn't make a lot of sense. That whole fade out and fade in there, that's a loading screen hidden. Alright, let's see if we put this on the dead body, maybe we can make a
no use for that.
catapult. No, that's not it. So let's see. Open room 420. I should exchange the chewing gum for the wood plank, then use the plank on the chewed gum to push the wrench. I should use the wrench with the radiator in the basement to make the radiator upstairs explode and open the way. Hardly a great hint system though. Like the first sentence there should have been hint 1, and then it should have let me click and actually affirm that I want more. If I had known I was going for room 420, at least I would have focused more towards that. I honestly believed that it was just going to be a running gag, but to read the entire explanation of everything you're supposed to do is kind of ridiculous. Why this is going to work with the chewing gum, I don't know. Like,
Hey! Now I'm able to hold them both as if they were one. Eurico, exploiting glitches in the fabric of reality.
I probably would have never thought of that.
It's so sticky and gooey. At least I didn't throw up in the process. Was my suffering worth all these troubles? Only time will tell.
Like, and if somebody has read these comic books, maybe this is exactly what he does in the comic book, so you're just playing through actions you've already seen. I wouldn't be surprised if that's the case, but most people playing this game, I imagine, won't even know that it was based on a comic book.
I need to see it working to know if it needs some kind of fixing. I have no use for that. It's so cold in here. I think the furnace must be on for the radiator to heat. Or maybe it's because I'm dead. I heard the afterlife is pretty cold. Best to die in a sweater.
Is there perhaps a valve or something on the furnace that I could turn on?
A giant furnace. I wonder if it still works. I have no use for...
So even reading the instructions, I'm still lost. Find the I assume you're supposed to do them in order. Take the plank to the chewed gum to fish out the wrench. I should use the wrench with the radiator in the basement to make the radiator upstairs explode and up and away. Open away, maybe. That's...
I don't want to put that into my jacket.
Hmm.
Yuck. Imagine licking that. It's so cold in here.
Hmm.
Or maybe it's because...
This is kind of ridiculous. Even the hint's not telling me what to do.
I have no use for that.
Hmm. So I guess I have to move on to the next thing. Can I get a hint here? No, this one's not giving me a hint. And this one's not giving me a hint either. So, am I clicking something or did the game just mess up? I need to find the man and find out what he knows about the disappearance of Dog Mendonça. That seems very simple. I need to get the dieback over the basement, making the hood of the car fall on his head. Then I should use the hammer to fight him. Oh. So maybe that was the trick there. There's a radiator here. Just confusing the issue even more. And using the wrench with the hood, I don't believe we'll do anything.
I have no use for that.
This is pretty pathetic because I'm very close to having to go online and look up a guide to get hints in a game that has hints already integrated in.
Mind if we trade? Nah, whatever.
So we're back with the hammer. And maybe what happens is I need to get my body before I can turn on the radiator. The line of dialogue is saying maybe it's because I'm a ghost. But then that also means that the goals are in the wrong order. A severe lack of consistency is starting to appear. So this is working now with the hammer. As long as I don't just fully fail. Oh, it's mostly working. Still trying to play this with a mouse.
There's more where that came from.
Is not good. And frankly, for a point-and-click adventure game, that's what should have been happening. He's now really slow, so you can hit him. He seems like he is hitting me, so I should dodge. Dodge. So I'm gonna pull
More where that came from.
pull my keyboard out and actually use that. So Z and X. X. Z. When these two are about to fight, you dodge and then hit. And just having two fingers on two different buttons is proving to be a lot easier than trying to go back and forth between the two buttons. Honestly, these buttons should be right next to each other. There we go. If the buttons were right in the corner, it would work way better.
Can't be. You're getting on my nerves.
But that also makes this not a mouse-only game.
You're such an idiot that you don't realize how
Which that's
much of an idiot you
annoying.
Yeah? How does it feel to be an idiot's punching bag?
Oh, so I'm gonna make him mad, and he's gonna go full poltergeist on the radiator. Or the furnace. So you had to do this.
No! I lost my cool because of you. You got me so angry, I ended up possessing something. Now I'm trapped inside this stupid furnace.
You are a stupid furnace.
I will turn your organs inside out.
If you ever get out of that furnace, that is.
And so one assumes that's what has happened to Pazoo too. Pazoo. Alright, now we can look at this and see that it's running.
Now that the Dybbuk is fueling the furnace, the radiator is all nice and warm.
And I wonder if Dybbuk means something in Portuguese or if it's just a strange term for a ghost or a fire demon or something that I don't recognize. So hints don't help well enough if you have to do one of the other
Mind if we trade?
three options.
Whatever.
So that's not really that odd for a point and click adventure game that you can do three things at the same time, but usually it's blatantly obvious that you can't go any further down the chain until you do something else. Here it in no way made obvious sense that beating Dybbuk was going to turn on the radiator. There could have been a line of dialogue to hint towards that, certainly, but they didn't write that.
What are you doing?
Oh, this? I don't know. There's an open valve. I meant to close it.
Wait, that would add too much pressure and...
Yeah, I know that. Let's see what happens.
Oh, that hurts like hell. Why did you have to do that?
I think it'll help me get to the man I'm looking for. But it was mostly about seeing that look on your face when it happened. And now I can take that back.
So his body is right here, and there's potentially toxic fumes on top of his body. I guess his body's dead already, so it's not too much more you could do to it. I didn't think it was going to be this radiator. This is just so unassumingly animated here. I just thought it was part of the background. I didn't think for a second that it involved the door. I thought there was going to be a radiator on the other side that exploded. But as we can see here, there is no radiator. Alright. What can we click on? We have boarded window, which probably means I need the hammer back, which probably means there is no way to do this without trading multiple times. This looks like some kind of puzzle that could be in the game. I wouldn't be upset if there was like a bell ringing combination puzzle you needed to play. But everything we've seen so far has been very simplistic. 3 button codes, 3 channel TV. Let's see. I'm just hovering my mouse over everything just to make sure. So now it's a long journey. 1 screen, 2 screens, arguably another screen halfway through this screen because it's so long. Three screens, 4 screens to get there, 4 screens to get back. Just to trade this. Which there's really no reason for this element to be in the game. If I could have just picked up these items instead and held on to all 3 of them, it would have sped up this process significantly, and that's obviously what the creators of the game are trying to avoid. Is they're trying to make this way longer than it should be, and that really doesn't make a lot of sense. When there's potentially 29 more cases after this one. These things should be short and sweet at 45 minutes maximum.
I don't want to hammer that down.
Seriously? Seriously?
I don't want to hammer that down. I can't open it with my bare hands. Boarded window. I can climb to the crime scene from there. Yuck. Imagine licking that.
Maybe I'm supposed to go talk to the ghost and get him to come eat the boards. I guess that's a potentially what could be the case. I'm trying to talk to him. Nothing happens. No response at all.
Oh, he looks so sad now that I've taken everything from him. Yeah, in your wildest dreams or your most recurring nightmares. I don't want to hammer that down.
There's nothing here. Wow, you just... It never stops. Confusing. Get to the crime scene. The wrench seems like the best way to open up the boarded window. If I get trapped inside the wall, I should not panic. My Dario's facing the crime scene after all. So I have to go back and get the wrench because I shouldn't have traded it. That one was pretty much my fault. But I would certainly not have used a wrench to tear down boarded windows. I would use a hammer. The idea that the hammer couldn't tear down the boarded window makes very little sense when you look at what kind of hammer is animated here. If this was a hammer that didn't have the claw hook on the back of it, that would make a little bit more sense. But
Mind if we trade? Nah, whatever.
then you'd probably call the mallet. It shows a lack of consideration and just thinking about how things will be animated, how the way something looks will be integrated into the mind of the player. Just seems like there wasn't enough thought process of product testing going on there. On the other hand, wrenches would never be used to tear down the boarded up window unless, and if you were going to do that gag, you would say these boards are bolted down. Does it say that? Like, they're held in with bolts, nuts and bolts.
I can climb to the crime scene from there.
To me, this looks like they're just nailed through the wall. So the wrench is the totally wrong tool.
That hit me hard. What happened? Wait a minute. I'm possessing the wall. I am trapped in the wall. Don't panic. They said panicking just makes it worse. I can't hear my heartbeat. I have no heartbeat. Okay, I can't do anything at all. I think this actually is a good time to panic.
Interesting. So, you use the wrong tool, you end up in the wall, and then we've got something we're gonna do. I am really surprised this is still going on. This is really ridiculous that it is taking this long. And I keep trying to justify in my head, like, is there a possibility that the cases here are just references to the comic book and they're not people that matter? Maybe this is just all a joke. Because we haven't seen any of these characters at all. So maybe this game really is only two and a half, maybe 5 hours of gameplay, and then each of these case files are just references to the comic book. Yeah, I guess that would make sense. It makes a lot more sense than 30 cases. And here you have a weeping angel from Doctor Who, which that would be a little bit of evidence, I suppose, to these just being references. That could be the case. But then why call it the interactive adventures instead of the interactive adventurer? Or maybe they just right now only have 1 or 2 cases and they planned on adding more. Because the load is here and the case files are here. So when I click on like the next one here, there's no button or anything that says load this case. That could change later. However, that being said, I'm not sure. I'm just not sure. Anyways, that's it for this recording. As always, I ask you to like, share, subscribe, comment, and watch every second of my videos. If you want to friend or follow me on basically any social media sites, there's a whole bunch of links down below. Thank you for watching. Have a good evening.